Okay, welcome to week 4. I hope that everybody is doing fine, doing good, doing okay. Today we're going to be talking about Razor. I asked you to do some preliminary research on Razor. I gave some reading there. Yep. So I do recommend that you open your questions, keep your questions easily available, so that as we go through today, if you don't see some of those questions being addressed, you ask, okay? Either verbally or you can post on Padlet. Okay, I'll be keeping Padlet open the whole day today. So we're going to be doing a quick poll and a quick survey today, beginning of the second half of the class. I'll tell more about that as we go through. Just a few reminders, notes, if you don't know that already, but then you will get to know. The bonuses are only applicable to the students that have at least 50% of attendance, okay? So that's there is a correlation between attendance and the bonus. So you need to have at least 50%, which is not much. I mean, I ask you to have at least, come at least to half of the classes. So I can apply the bonus to you when it comes time to, come to the end of the semester, okay? So keep that in mind and keep coming. So that's the first reminder, kind of. The second one, I sent an email. Tomorrow there's an event by a Google user group. So if you want to get involved with coding more and more, or technology in general, you may want to go if you have time. You don't need to stay for the whole day, but get involved with the technology scene in Toronto. It's a good way to get to know people, get to know technology, open up your networking possibilities, okay? So I should be there tomorrow. Again, I don't know if anyone will be there, but if you go and if you see me, say hi, and hopefully we can talk there. Okay, let's see. Okay, I also want to mention, because sometimes I'm not able to send the recap reminder very quickly after the class, but I usually set up the video quite quickly, and I post that quite quickly. So, but again, sometimes I get delayed to send the message to everybody. Well, I don't know what happened here. Let me check this thing here. Hopefully to be safe. So my point is that on Centennial, if you go to content and if you go to general, there's this playlist that I post the video very quickly inside this playlist here. So for instance, today, I should be posting that tomorrow here. My message may not go right away, but the video will be right away here. So you can see in the playlist all our past videos and the coming ones as well. So my point is that if you need something from the recordings and you don't see the message that I sent yet, come here to this playlist, and it should be already available around here, okay? Yeah.
You don't have that general tab.
on our course shell.
Oh, wait, I'm looking at the wrong course. My mistake.
Okay, no problem, no problem. So yeah, so we have that general there. And you can just, again, check there. Okay, so by Monday, it should be there, okay? Okay, what else?
The ones from, okay.
So the ones there are the last 3 ones.
Yeah.
So we have each week we have part 1 and part 2, the first 2 hours, the second 2 hours, okay? They're all there. What else here? Also, I have created a source code link here in the same content. All source code that you're going to be discussing, talking about, I'll be making them available from this location here. You see part invites already there. You see language features, which was the one. Yep, go ahead.
Moving forward,
Yep,
for the other chapters,
yep.
you will create the video like you did for part invite or not?
If I have one,
For example, the next chapter is going to be the sales webpage.
yeah, the sports store.
Yeah.
Yep,
You're going to create a video for that one?
it's already created.
So you will
All chapters, it's already posted. Everything is already done there. You just need to have the link. And you're going to have the link. Actually, part of the bonus for next class is to go through the first 4 videos of that series. So chapter 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all videos are already created that I have done previously, and we're going to be using them, okay? It's not the video, it's not the class recording, but the video that I walk you through on how to put, chapter 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 together. It's all created already. And then I'll be releasing them as we go along. Okay, so again, part invites is already here. More source code I'll be sharing here as well, okay, as we go forward, as we move forward. I think that's it for now. Let's get this one here started. So week 4, we have Razor. You have done your initial research there. Razor is the view engine. Is the scripting language very similar to C# with a few minor differences that we use to be able to handle complex scenarios in our views, in our user interfaces, okay? We should not make our user interfaces very complex. If it's getting too complex, our UI, well, we need to revisit that because maybe we are pushing things to the UI that should actually be inside the controller or inside the model, okay? So UI should not be very complicated. It should be all about presenting data, not rules and business logic there. It should be just whatever coding will be there. It's just about formatting information, formatting output. So today we're going to be looking at these topics. Some of those are a bit familiar to you already based on the part invites exercise, and then we're going to expand from there. Some of those topics are brand new, and we're going to be looking at them for the first time today. View imports, you saw that a little bit. You saw that in the part invites. Can anyone remember what view imports was all about? Well, actually, this was 2 weeks ago. I'm not going to ask that much. But we saw a little bit of imports. We're going to see that again. We did not see anything about layouts. We saw that there was something called layout that was being set to null. But today you're going to work on that. You're going to be able to share a layout across our different views. Share common HTML code across our different views so we don't have to be repeating things. Coding is about doing less and reusing more. And layouts are part of that in our MVC environment. You saw model, capital M, lowercase m. Today we're going to be looking at that a bit more as well. Render body, you have not seen that, but this works hand in hand with layouts. This is a method on a razor, a method that we're going to call from a razor code. View bag, we saw that a little bit already. It's a way to transfer data between the controller and the view. We're going to expand on that today. Tag helpers, we saw a bit of that as well. It will help us to create tags like links, like form, like inputs. It will assist us on creating tags. View start, brand new one. We're going to be able, a lot of what we're going to see today is how can we make our coding more, our coding easier, more efficient, without duplicating piece of code. Oh, we use this here, and then we use here again, and we copy it again here, again. Doing less codes, using things like view start. We're also going to be exploring some of the razor syntax, like with the if, with the switch statement, with the for each statement. We're going to be looping through data. We're going to be testing. We're going to be using switch statements to do that as well. Back to our diagram. As I said, you're going to be sick and tired of looking at that diagram. Today is no different. Looking at our MVC diagram over there, which component are we focusing today? The views, because Razor goes hand in hand with views. Razor runs inside the views, okay? Razor runs right there. But we cannot just isolate this. I'm not going to be here talking for 4 hours just about the ins and outs of Razor and isolating this from all the rest. No, we're going to be talking about that in context, because we cannot create an MVC application without having all those different components. We're going to be touching a bit on each one of them, but most of the time we're going to be focusing on a few aspects here of view, more importantly, within the context of Razor. Okay. As I asked at the beginning, keep your questions close by. Open the list of questions, your 3 questions there, because again, if I don't address them, if you are not clear by the end of the class today about your 3 questions, make sure that we clarify, either one-on-one with me or within the group in an open question, or post there on Padlet. I'll have Padlet open behind the scenes. I'll keep checking. Again, so post there. Resources that we're going to be using today. So how are we going to do this today? We're going to have a bit of lecturing and a bit of coding. Lecturing and coding. We're going to start with coding. So this application that we're going to be building today, the student system, which is nothing too fancy, a very straightforward MVC project. It has 8 steps. 8 steps. So some of those steps you're going to be doing, performing them. Some of those steps I'll be performing here in front of you, so you can follow through and you can ask me questions. So we're going to do a bit of a mix. I'll be doing some lecturing here and there, and you're going to be doing some practicing at the same time as we go along, okay? Those are the resources that we're going to be using to go through the day-to-day. Clue cards. So I just want to quickly flip here back to Centennial. Under week 4, we have a few files here. Week 4 Razor, this is the presentation that I'm going through, okay? So you should download that. It's a PDF presentation here. Clue cards, this is a set of 10 cards. Let me open that. You're not going to follow step by step. You're not going to follow through each card of those. Only whenever the presentation, and I'll show you this. See, this is our first step. Each step here, it says clue card 1, clue card 2, clue card 3, 4, 5. Then as you follow this slide, you can refer back to the clue cards so you can get some clues about what you need to put together. So what I'm trying to say is that only refer back to this clue cards PDF when I'm asking you to do that, because what I saw in other sections is that some people were following clue card after clue cards straight from here. It forgot to follow actually the presentation here, okay? So follow this, but use the clues in the clue cards whenever appropriate. Whenever I say, go there, have a look at this clue cards, okay? So that's the first resource, the clue cards. Second resource, the part invite videos. I'll share the link there if you want to have a listen to any of the videos in the part invites, because this application, the beginning of this application is very similar to the part invites. There are lots of common elements, so you can actually download the third resource here. You can download part invite source codes. My recommendation is download it, open it, and then start your new project there. And then, again, you're going to be able to get a lot of pieces and bits of code from your part invites as we go along. But use those three, clue cards, the part invite videos, and the part invite source code. The source code of part invites, once again, it's available on Centennial under source codes. You have part invites here. And I'm going to paste this link so you can have it easily on Padlet. So you can click there. Okay, so it's there on Padlet, that link. And this is step number one. What are you going to do here? So the student system is a very simple application. Actually, I want to demonstrate what is it that you're going to get at the end. So in the end, we're going to be building two views. One view that is displaying one student, the other view that is displaying a list of students. So the first view is a very simple one. It just shows one student, just the first name. The second one, when I click on lists of students, it will show a list of students, and that will be the final outcome of this little test system, okay? Now, as I said, we're going to go through 8 steps. The first step is this one here. These steps, you're going to be executing them, performing them on each and every MVC application that you put together. So it's good if you keep this slide as a reference going forward, because again, whenever you start, you can follow those steps and you're going to get your basic, bare bones MVC application up and running and configured. Of course, there are more specifics after that, but this will cover the basics of your application, okay? So I'm going to give 30 minutes for this one here. I'll be walking around, seeing if anyone has questions. If you are able to set this up before 30 minutes, just go to step number 2. But in 30 minutes, I'll ask you to stop, and then I'll quickly move to step number 2, see if there are any questions. I'll move to step number 2 and I explain that. But again, if you do this quickly, you can move to step number 2. Don't keep just waiting for number 2, step number 2. Just move forward and get it going. And that's about it. Any questions? Step number 1 and step number 2, they'll be done by you, but I'll be helping you out. Step number 3, I'll be doing here, and you're going to be following. And again, so we're going to have some that you're going to be doing, some that I'll be doing, and we keep moving forward. Make sure that you do this on 1.1. I see quite a lot of people not paying attention to this step here. Make sure that you do that. And again, I'm going to say that again. Make sure that you do this. We are using .NET Core 2.1 and uncheck HTTPS. The good thing is that you can do that afterwards, but if we start with 2.0, it does a few lines of code that is a bit different, so you may have to start again from scratch. But that's it. Let's get going. I'll be walking around. I'll be helping you as we go along. Do you want me to have a look at that thing? Yeah, I'll.
Let's try to start the home task.
And you could not see the. Yeah, I saw that. I think it seems to be the same problem. I saw that in some workstations here. And I saw in our something on Stack Overflow mentioning about how to address that. I wasn't able to sit down and really fix that in the stations here, but let's have a look.
Yes,
Go
okay.
through it, yep. Yep.
Okay. Okay, 2.1.
Yep.
HTTP. Empty.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. I saw that same kind of thing. So the project is actually, the solution, sorry, the project is actually created. Right click here. Go to open the folder. There should be an option there that says open folder, open in Explorer, something like that. Well, there must be an option here to open the folder, something like that. Yeah, see, web application there. The project is created. Open there. Open. See, the project is created here, but it doesn't show there. Let me open Slack. Let me send you a link that may help you to address that. I don't know how to address that exactly, but it seems that you have to install the right version.
Send it to our conversation.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
No problem. Yep. Oops. It's okay. It's okay.
My account yesterday is more work, but today is more something like this one.
So you have a try. So there is a. Can you open
It's my account.
Centennial? Yeah, because they have. Have you downloaded from Centennial and?
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. And it use my account here.
License to try for other purpose. Yeah. Again, the only thing that I can tell you is I can point you to the, but maybe you have done that already. Scroll up.
Yeah.
Go to our section there. go to content. And let's see here, general. Let's see if it's general or table of contents. Scroll down. See, have you gone through this?
Actually, that I downloaded it in the previous semester.
Okay, so I don't. This is what I have been recommended to do.
Yep.
This is what I've been told to provide to the students.
Yeah.
So you may want to have a look at that. If you still continue with that kind of problem, I would recommend that you contact technical support here.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. So you may want to use one of the workstations
Yeah.
here. Okay?
So we follow
Those steps, and then have a look at which clue card it points you to, and then have a look at the clue there. So it should give you some pointers on what to do next for that item.
with the video, which is from there.
Well, you can use the videos for the part invites as a reference point, but yeah, there's no set of videos for this example. You can use the part invites as a reference point, maybe the source code of part invites, but to be honest, I think that it would be better if you just follow each item and then go to the clue cards, and from there, do whatever the clue card is recommending you to do. Yeah.
When you say that the ASP.NET Core application, so I go to the app, but I don't really sure which one I should use.
Yeah, this is a Mac one.
Yeah.
Maybe try this empty here.
So
Empty template, .NET Core. I don't know. I'll try that.
do we need to use the tool?
Yep. See.
Yeah.
There will be a point very soon that you won't be able to use the Mac version because of the database. So you may want to address that already.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that today you are fine,
Yeah.
but again, when we start to use database, you may get,
Yeah, I need to change.
yeah. Okay? Yep, that's it.
Yeah. Thank you.
What's up?
Sorry, when I try to make the project, it comes up with this, an
Okay.
exception is thrown.
So click OK. Let's close Visual Studio. Let's try again without, yeah, let's go there again. Go ahead.
Yeah, it should be this one.
Let me see.
Oh, sorry.
Give me 1 second there. Yep. Okay.
I already created one, so let's do it that. And the student system. So, yeah, I guess.
Okay, an exception was thrown while initializing. I'll try another computer because I don't know what's the problem. I mean, sometimes when I see some strange stuff like that just restarting won't work, I'll try another station.
Which view we need to choose?
Which what?
Yeah.
Which what?
Which one of these we need to choose? Which view?
What are you doing?
The view one. The sixth one. Create a view
Student-
code index.
Okay. Okay. Student controller. I mean, did you intentionally name
No.
it student? because this is usually home controller. Which step are you in?
I'm on the.
Okay, as I said, you should follow that.
Okay.
Okay? So whenever it says a clue card, then you go to the clue card. But don't follow the clue cards.
Okay.
Follow this. Okay? Okay, any question? Be there in a second.
Do I choose this one?
Okay, so are you creating the controller now? Is that what you're doing?
Controller.
The home controller. Yeah, use that one. Yep. Yep.
Oh, I was sorry. I pressed the view thing and I pressed out, but it's saying there's an error.
Let's see.
I want to make it better.
Yeah, okay, so click OK. Let's try another approach here. Cancel that.
Okay.
So right click there, so you can, go to add. Instead of going to view, go to new item.
Okay.
And then from here, expand here, expand that, click on ASP.NET, and then select Razor View. Yeah, the name is already index, which is the one that you want to create, correct?
Right.
Click add.
Okay.
Great, so that's it. The only inconvenience is that the HTML is not there.
Oh.
The template would come with some HTML.
Right.
This way, it comes pretty much blank there. So what you could do, you can open the Part Invites project, and you can copy the HTML pieces from there instead of doing manually. Okay?
All right.
I'm getting errors here.
When you're trying to,
Creating the home controller, adding
Okay.
the method to the home controller, it's giving me an error.
okay, can you?
Yeah.
Okay, click OK. So you're creating the view.
No.
Yeah, you're creating this. That's
Yeah,
for
this-
creating the
this is
view.
for
Okay,
creating
so
the
if
view.
this way does not work, cancel it. Right click there
On home?
on home, yes, and then go to add. Go to new item, and then go to web here, expand web. Go to Razor View.
Razor View?
Yeah. See, the name is already indexed there, so you can keep that. Click add. So it adds, but the only inconvenience is that it doesn't bring the HTML template there. So you'd have to add that either manually or you can open Part Invites.
But when we did party invites, it was okay. But when we're doing the same thing, why it's
I don't know. I sometimes I see that problem. I don't know why. I really don't. It's something where you should maybe you want to it worked in the same computer that you're using.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe close it and open it again. Maybe open View Shoot again. Sometimes.
So here's the error for you.
Well, there is an error here. Move the mouse over. Let's see there. Read it.
The name view does not exist in the
Okay, so you're missing something in the home controller definition there. I can see it from here. There's an inheritance that you're missing there. It inherits from something.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Controller.
Yep. Yep. What's up?
I'm unable to get those start.
If you see that, move to another workstation. Because I've seen that quite a few times already to know that there's not much that I can do because it seems that it's missing some installation things on when you do that. I'll have to report this to IT that takes care of infrastructure, but I'll move on to another workstation.
I'm good.
Oh, good?
Yeah, I got it.
Awesome.
Can you show the example how it should look like?
Just ask a question. I'll be there in a second.
Oh,
What's up?
Should be under modern
Yes.
class name. It should be student.
Yes.
That's the word.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
How should it look like?
How should it look like? What?
You've shown that we need to create an output.
Yeah, this is just a basic HTML. I mean, you can open part invites and you can have a reference there. So part invites, it's on the source codes. If you go to, okay.
I'm on the second one.
Okay, don't follow though. I mean, which step are you here? This one. Okay, so add view. Great. Okay, so keep going there.
Yeah.
What's your question?
So when you say that in this order grade, a view called index, so I need to create a new class.
A new view. So right click on the.
Yeah, I already right.
Okay, so add. Let's see new. Let's see what shows new file. Again, this is Mac. It's not my environment, but let's see here. See ASP.NET Core up there. See web, actually, let's have a look at web here. Yep. Those are the only ones?
Yeah, those are the only ones.
HTML file. Yeah, let's see if there is any other one here. Enumeration, ASP.NET Core. Oh, actually, it's here. Razor view, MVC view. Can you just the previous one?
This one?
Yeah, it seems that this is the one. Click new. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. No problem.
Just to make sure, this is going onto the index file, right?
To the view file.
Which is the index file?
Which, yes, index file is a view.
Okay,
Correct.
So, yeah, okay, so this is going on here.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Okay, cool, thanks.
We need to make the view ports in this case.
The view imports.
Yeah.
It tells you after.
Yeah, most likely. If you go step by step,
There is.
yeah, it will ask at some point. Okay.
The whole controller we need to be controller.
Be there in a second.
So I'm at this line now.
Great text test students.
That's
Remember that,
the-
just so you know, there are more properties, okay?
Yeah.
But that's fine. Yes, because we're gonna be using, yes, you're gonna be using that.
So I'm gonna do same as this one.
Yes,
But that's the dot story. That's the dot. What they say is about this one.
yes.
Okay, so we should put here and then this is
Here you put the properties. So this you're creating here a student class, but the point is where are you going to be creating the students? Like John Smith. Where's John Smith? I'm asking you. Figure out. Yeah, where are you going to create the test students? It's in number 2.3.
that's what you mean.
Data is not added to the index. Index is just a view.
The view. Yeah.
So where is that view called? Because we have to give to this view a student.
Yeah.
Where is this view called from?
From the controller.
Yes, it's from the controller. So open the controller. Which line is called in the view?
Here.
Yes. So immediately before that, you create the student and send to the view.
Okay, I got it. Okay, I got it.
You raise your hand, you go. Yep, that's up.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do for the set of model 2.
Okay. Which step are you in?
I just finished this one.
Okay. Which step there in the board? Which step there in the presentation there? Which step are you in? Because that's where you have to follow.
Oh, okay. I thought we were doing.
Oh, okay. We follow there, as I was saying in the beginning. We follow there, and then whenever it says a clue card, then you check the clue cards. If you follow the clue cards, you're gonna get clueless. What's up?
Do we need to uncheck the layout page? Do we need
We're gonna get there, but are you following that?
Okay.
That's what you have to follow.
Okay.
Then whenever it says a clue card, you refer to the clue cards.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, see the number?
Yeah.
See, clue card number 3. So you go to number 3 here. Clue card number 2. You go to number 2.
I have done it.
Okay, great. So you have done all 5 steps there?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you go to step number 2 there, in that presentation.
Oh, okay.
In that razor presentation. You go to the next slide there.
Okay.
Okay? 1 second. What's up? No, it's working? Try another one.
Not even this one. This is not working.
Okay. Okay, so let's just close this. No. Minimize here. So let's go there, Visual Studio. Okay, let's go File, New. There. Yep. Yep. Yeah. If they're not, you have to find another one. But again, there's not much that can be done. There's not much that can be done. I'm telling you, not much. Aside from going to another one. What's up?
No, I'm just asking him to try on this one.
Got it.
I just turned it on.
I add this method
Yep.
here, but it shows the error.
Yeah, it shows there because you need to inherit home controller
Okay.
from something else. Guess what? What's up?
I wrote controller in here.
See, that's
but
it.
It's
See?
not. It's still constrained red.
Yeah. Move the mouse over
Here.
under controller.
Okay.
So let's see. Controller namespace. Controller is a namespace.
In the
This is controllers here.
that has to
Controllers.
be
Controllers.
controllers.
Plural.
Okay, how do I like recreate the folder?
You can just rename the folder. Okay.
I had to add in here.
No. Go back there.
Yeah.
Home controller needs to inherit it from something. Your friend here just did it. Then you go to slide number 2. There.
So we need to add more components over here, or just name any email is okay for now? Like phone, we need to.
We will. Well,
add eventually?
there are some that we're not going to need to add because you're going to be using them for something else down the road. Okay.
For now, this is okay. Name any email.
For now, but very soon you're going to need. I mean, very soon today. You're gonna need. What's up?
Should be like return view index, right?
That's correct. Oh, no. Well, actually, view, you send the student here. You don't, see, when you call view like this, sorry, get rid of index, get rid of. Perfect. So by doing that, you're calling the view already. Now, you need to send the student in. So where it is, you send as a parameter student.
Oh, the object?
Yes. Great. So view now is receiving the student.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So like I don't need to specify the view.
You don't, because the view has the same name as the action.
So like if I am in a different action, I want the other view. So view and object both.
Yes. You send string the name of the view, comma, and then the name of the object. But you don't have to here because they have the same name. Got it?
And so another question is like I'm from the other section.
Okay. Okay.
So in the assignment, we don't need to create the layout, right? The master sheet or something like that.
I don't think so. No. It's not requiring that. If it would be, it will be listed there. So you don't have to.
Whatever you did in the party invites.
Yep.
That's the thing
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. Okay.
layout is like master sheet, right?
Kind of. You're gonna see. I'll go into more details a bit later. What's up?
I was doing the 2.2 that sets to the model to the index view. So we say that at the top of the view file, add the following lines.
Yeah. So at the very top, where's the view file?
So the view file here.
Well, this is a view folder. Where's the view? Okay, view file is here, index. Where did you create it? Inside of where?
Sure.
Well, you have to make sure that this is inside of the views folder. Actually, not just inside the views folder. We have to have a views folder, and then inside of it, we have to have the home folder, because it has to match the name
this
of.
one. So I have
Yeah, but home is inside. Yes, home is inside views.
So I make it wrong.
Yeah, so you just have to move there. Okay.
Is this correct?
I've been skipping you, isn't it? Sorry, Luis. What's up?
I'm doing this.
Yeah, this step. Go ahead, show me. Yes, it is. You just need to initialize the properties, okay?
Yeah.
That's it.
Wait, like, do I initialize it here? In the argument?
Well, this is where you define. You don't create the student there. You create the student where he's creating, the same place, in the action.
Oh, in the home control.
Yes.
Okay.
Right before you call the view.
Number 9, you need to set this one.
In the view file. This is not the view file. The view file is index. Yeah, but you created a view.cs. This is supposed to be a folder, not a file.
A folder, not a file.
Yeah, views, there must be a folder called home inside views.
Yeah.
Your friend just did that. He can help you.
Yeah.
I'll just jump Luis, because Luis is asking me for a while. I'll come back to you in a second. What's up?
So I'm trying to define here, get this student object, but
Okay, so
this is
did you create the class? Did you create the class student?
the class student model.
Yes,
Yes.
perfect, it's there. So you have to now create the student, okay? The test student. You're almost right here. The correct place to create the student is right before you call the view. Where do you call the view?
I'm calling the view the index.
Yeah, this is the line that you call the view, the return line. So right before that, yep, right there, hit enter. That's where you create the students. Create the student there, and then send to the view. It's just a test student. So you can have some data to send to the view.
Okay, and I can follow the example from the part invite to get the logic.
Kind of. I mean, to be honest, the part that is being similar in part invites is more of this one here. See, thanks, it sends an object here. You can just create a test student and then get the test student and send inside the view via the parentheses here, inside the parentheses. Okay?
Asking if this is where we create the view, the student or in the student's model?
This is the correct file, so it's inside of the home controller, but you don't create as a view. You create the student right before you call the view, right here. See, you call the view right here.
Oh, sorry.
So before that, you create a test student that you can then send to the view as a parameter.
Okay.
Okay, so you don't create a new action. Okay?
Yeah, I would don't do that. Oh, okay.
Had a question?
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah.
Can I? So I should made one more class. To
You
get-
just need to create a student,
Yeah.
a student object.
Yeah.
Just an object
That's
that
it.
is student.
Just a student object.
That's a spin object.
No, that's not a student object. It's a student class.
Yeah.
You initialize and you define a new variable.
Is that in the controller?
It's in the controller, not only there, but not only that, but right before you call the view, in the line prior to that, you create a student there.
Okay.
Create a student and then send
It's
a test. Just John Smith, or Mary Jo.
There's
Someone.
Not an object name, right? That's the
No,
test.
it's just a test student. Yeah. Just a test student.
I'm kind of terrified if I'm on the right track or not.
Okay. No. Come on. Tell me. What's up?
Am I on the right track here for 2.5?
Yeah, if you're there, let me see here. So you create the students there.
Yeah, like
Okay.
sometimes-
Scroll a little bit there. Yeah, that's okay. One thing that I recommend is that instead of using models.students, define the namespace at the top so you don't have to call models.students. You can just say using student system. Yep, student system dot models. Yep, and then you can just get rid of that. But what you did is just fine. Yep, all good.
I feel like I'm really.
No, that's okay. That's okay. You don't, the other thing is that you don't necessarily have to create a new constructor because we can just use the default constructor and set the
I
properties.
guess I'm just always paranoid that I have to define my own.
That's okay. That's okay. That's good enough.
Okay, so I'm on the right track.
Yes. Yes.
Should I stop here then before going into 3?
Maybe. But if you want to keep going, if you are comfortable, keep going. Just keep going.
I'm never comfortable, but okay.
What's up? Okay, move the mouse over there. Because it's student. Oh, sorry. It's
I renamed. At first, I plus S.
then.
Can I rename? No.
Yeah, but then everywhere in the project, it will be using the old. I mean, renaming the project afterwards can be tricky. Let's try something here. Right-click the project. Right-click. Go to properties. Let's see if we can change the namespace from here. Student system. So it's now called student system, or was it before students? Is that what it was before? What was it before?
Students.
Students. Yeah, so everything is changed here.
Yeah.
Close it. Sorry. Well, that's okay. That's okay. So open your model here, students. See, because everywhere it's still students, you see? So you have to change namespace everywhere manually. Okay? Okay, so I'm gonna reconnect here. Okay, so you have a question? Okay. So I'm gonna reiterate that once again. The steps to follow are those. Then whenever it says a clue card, then you go to the clue card, okay? So don't follow the clue cards there because then you're gonna get a bit mixed up. Maybe I have to reorganize this, how this looks like. So we need to move on to step number 2, but I want to have a look, see if there are questions about step number 1 first. I've tried to address a few questions. I'm not sure if I was able to address all of them. Is there anyone that, before I move to step number 2, want me to address something? I can address your question 101 in a second. What I will be doing as well is, after each step, I'll be providing the zip file of the project up to that step. So even if you got stuck, you can get the file that I'm going to provide and move on to step number 2. Okay? Get it registered? I hope so. Okay, so I'm going to the source code link here on Centennial. I'm going to upload there the solution for step number 1. So with that, you can download step number 1 if you got stuck, but you can still ask me questions 101. But then use this now to move on to step number 2. Okay? So we can keep pushing forward here things. On step number 2, we have a model that we're going to create, a student class. In student class, we have to link the model to the view. Then we have to create a student that is a test. It's just an example, a hard-coded student like John Smith. We just have to create John Smith. We have to send this new object to the view and output the first name of that student. Okay? That's number 2. I'm going to give 20 minutes here. I'll be walking around again. If you still have questions about step number 1, ask me then. Number 2, ask me too. Step number 3, I will be the one doing here. What's up?
So we have the same problem of creating the whole review.
Got it. So click OK.
Okay.
So cancel that, because whenever this shows up, we have to go a different route. Right-click the home, and then go Add, and then go New Item. And then here, click the web, yep, and then razor view. See, it shows as index down there already. So because we are creating index, so you can leave it. Click Add.
Oh, so it's there.
So, but here's the thing. The only issue is that it doesn't come with the HTML already. So you may want to use the part invites to get some HTML here. If you don't, that's fine, because we're going to change that anyway. So you don't need to worry about that. You can use that pretty much and move forward.
There's HTML. Do I need to edit it?
To change the extension? Actually, that's the right extension.
Okay.
Because the views have .cs HTML extension.
Okay.
Okay?
Got it. Thanks.
No problem. Yep.
So for the this one, do we need to add it on the top? Like
Be there in a second.
on,
Yes.
On the first line?
On the first line, yes,
Okay.
exactly. Okay, just make sure that you clear the other lines, because they are empty anyway. So
we don't
just
need
clean
them?
them. No, if you come to needs, you're gonna do right now. You're gonna put add model, but the other ones are just empty. So might as well just get rid of them.
So for the student thing, I made the student up there.
Yep.
Am I supposed to use the view doc to display it?
Actually, the student goes as the model. To send the student as the model of the view, you just send the student as a parameter here to the view.
Okay, just put it in the parameter?
Yes,
Okay.
that's it. Okay? What's up? That's good. There is one quick change there that may simplify things, but that's fine. You just send now the test students to the view in the parameter here. Okay? And if you want to simplify and not have to use models here, you can use the namespace. You can say using system, student system.model up here, so you don't have to type in models. Okay? Not view, students. You call the test students. Okay? Yeah. here first.
I was doing the 2131
Yep.
test this. Set student object and send it to the view
Yeah.
the action.
So where's the action? Where are the actions?
I think we have an
Action is the other term used for methods inside the controller. So again, where's the action? Where's the controller? Open the controller. So where's the action? This index is the action. So you create the students right there in the action, inside the action, before you call the view. Yes, before you call the view. Correct, right there. You had something there? Models of, okay, move the mouse over students there. Okay, but here's the thing. You're calling student there, but the name seems to be student controller. Where's your student class? Is that student controller? Yeah, this should be only called students, not student controller.
Yeah.
That's why it's not finding. No, you rename it. Oh, okay. Great, okay. And then rename the file as well. Yeah. Someone had a question here? I'll be there in a second. What's up?
This.
Yep.
Yep. But I forgot how to send this data to.
Well, you are sending there. So, I mean, this could be simpler, but this will work.
Yeah.
Now, you have to go to the view, and you have to call.
I tried to.
No, what do you use here? You have a model up there.
Yeah.
So here, you're going to make reference to model. Open part invites and have a look. Open part invites, have a look there. And if you see, we use at model. That's what we use. We don't call student, we call at model. Model, and then, okay? You have a question here?
No.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah. This is.
Yes.
I did this one, right?
Yes.
That is that one.
Yep.
So I finished second
Awesome.
one. And
Did it work? Did you try?
no, it's not working.
Okay, so fix that before you go ahead. Because you should be able to make it run.
Yeah, because I
If
didn't.
not, don't move forward.
Oh, because I didn't collect the input yet. So
No, you don't. You are not going to be adding inputs. Didn't you create the test student? Open home controller. You have to create create the student. First name equals to John, last name equals to Smith.
Oh.
So create the student.
anything.
Anything. Test student.
Sorry,
What's up?
isn't working. I don't know why. I'm just, I have already copied the code from yours
Yeah.
everywhere, but it was the same. And
Yeah. Okay. So let's start to look at this.
Yes.
Okay. First of all, why did you call students controller and not home controller?
Because in the example it was home controller, but I thought that we're working on
Home controller is the default controller. It has to be called home controller, otherwise it won't work.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. So get that one.
I got off the
What's up?
section 3.
Okay.
So it said for this one, I assume this is what it means. But,
Yeah.
it says-
But one point is that view imports. I don't know where you create view imports from.
Yeah.
I think that you may have chosen the not so right option.
Oh, really?
So yeah, because the view imports, it doesn't come with this. You can just delete manually. That's fine. So delete everything except the first line.
So this.
Yeah. Ideally, you should have right-click views. Right-click.
Yeah, right.
I'm not gonna ask you to recreate, but I just want to show you.
It's in here already. In
I know. I just want to show you where you should have created, because then that extra stuff
Yeah,
would have not come.
I see.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go to Add New Item,
No, that's
and then from here, expand here.
Yeah.
Expands.
Oh, this one.
Yep. Go to Web, ASP.NET, and then you see Razor View Imports here. You see the name here.
see.
So it would have come without that extra stuff. Actually, it would have come clean.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay. Oh, one other question was add models namespace. That's add to this file?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And simplify add model from index file. I'm not too sure what that means. Does that mean?
Yeah. Actually, here's the thing. That's the reason why number 3, it's set up for me to do it because I didn't give you enough information to do that.
Oh, okay.
So, but again, it will be very simple. If you close here, you can just say at using space, and then you can say student. That's the student system.
Student system.
Yeah. Dots, and then models. Yep, that's it.
Okay.
You put this here, and then in the index, you can simplify the model by getting rid of this part and keeping just no, sorry. That's what you keep.
Oh, I see.
And you can get rid of the rest
get rid of
here.
this part, right?
Yeah, because now it's in the view import.
Oh, I see.
So now you can do like that.
So you can-
That's what this is.
Oh, okay. I see. I'm missing something.
Go back there to the index.
Index is,
Yeah, it's okay because sometimes you have visually takes a little bit of time to get updated. Okay,
okay.
but it worked.
No.
Okay, so let's keep looking. Let's look at the arrow. Don't close yet. Let's read the arrow.
Yeah, it's
So let's read the arrow. Let's interpret the arrow. What it's saying.
your index was not found.
Okay, view index. Okay, so it's saying that the view that is supposed to be called index is not found.
Yeah.
Let's check. Let's see if the index is the view is there. Close.
So,
Okay, so do we have the index view?
yes.
Look at where it is. You see, the folder, first of all, under view, which is supposed to be called views, not view.
Okay.
Views, so let's rename it. Let's rename that already. Views. Okay, so under views, we have to create another folder with the same name of the controller called home. And then index goes inside of it. The index file, no, it won't work yet. No, because the file is not there. So all views inside controller should be placed inside home. All views that are required by home controller, they should be inside home. This one is not inside home yet, so move index inside home.
It was not before.
Now it is. Let's have a look. In a second. So it's showing? It's showing up?
Yeah, but no.
Well, you have to figure that out.
Do I put the student information in the home controller or in the index?
Not in the index. Data is not placed in the view directly. Data is just display information. Someone else has to give the data to the view. So you're fine there, you're right. Yep, all good there. It's not showing up yet?
Oh yeah, it works.
It works?
Yeah.
Hi. So I must put this in the argument in order
Yes.
for them to know.
Yes.
So once I go to view, and this is all I need.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All good. Be back in a second. What's up? Okay, so did you do 2.3?
Yes.
Show me. Okay, great. So you have, okay, but just a quick note is that you didn't initialize any fields. So you didn't put the name of the student, the first name, the last name. You didn't do anything with the student. So there's nothing to be printed out yet. Okay, now you can do that afterwards. Let's have a look at the index. See, your index is empty. There's nothing there. You're not printing out. How do you call the student from here? See, you are setting the model to students. You can call the student by saying at model. Just keep in mind that, again, you have nothing here in your HTML. You should have something there, but I'll leave it up to you. then what you can do is you can say at model, capital M, dot, and then you have access to all properties of the students. But you have to set up, I mean, if you try to print the first name, but you are sending a student without first name, nothing will be printed out, okay? What's up?
I have a student here.
You have to send the student here to the view. Send the student to the view, yes.
How can I simply?
Okay, that's the reason why I say this one, I will be demoing that because you don't have information about that yet. Okay? Yeah, number 3, that's why I say 1, 2, you take care of, but 3, I'll be taking care of together. So did you put the namespace there in the view imports? Let's have a look. Yeah, so you did. Leave this with me. I'll be addressing this in 6 minutes.
Okay.
Okay?
6 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this stuff. I don't see this the notes properly.
Got it. Yeah, the ones that I have the Visual Studio symbol is for me to do it.
The looking at properly justify that, but this keeps saying directly the necessary. So I'm just glad that I'm not supposed to click it.
You can if you want to push things there, you know, but you get stuck. The idea was to get stuck actually, so it worked.
Oh, I went up to 3.3, 3.4, and I got stuck there. I couldn't figure out exactly what I did.
If you don't do 3, then you're gonna get stuck on 4. So it's one build on top of each other. So, well, you can start. I mean, you can create the view, you can create the collection. Yeah, you can get it started. That's okay. Question?
Sorry, excuse me, I would like to know how to create a tag student object.
Student object. Okay.
Just
So.
do it in the models?
Okay, so in the models, you define the class, which you did already, okay?
So I add another
No, let's not add anything. So let's go to the controller. Yeah, you are there already. So where do you call the view?
the controller.
Yeah, in the controller. Give me the line, show me the line that you are calling the view.
Here.
Yeah, that's the line that you call view. So before you call the view, create a student and then send the student to the view. You're just creating a temporary student, just a test student.
So it's inside the index, right?
Yes, you can create there. We are just, see, our focus today is not about data so much, so we are just creating a mock-up student, and we send the student to the view, for the view to print it out. Okay, try to put that. Did you find the computer?
Yeah.
It works? It works? Okay. Progressing well?
Yeah.
All good?
Yeah. Not sure about this one, this step over here.
Which one? Number?
Set model and index
Okay.
of the view.
Okay, so set the student model. Okay, so do we have the student class?
So I do have this.
Okay, perfect. So show me the view.
So index.
Yeah. Scroll all the way up. Yeah. So you didn't set the model yet. Let's see if there's a cool card associated with that. What's the number of the cool cards? 9. Okay, so let's go there.
8 and 9.
Good. So you just put this line at the very top of the view. That's it.
Oh, okay. So how can I add this like into views folder? And
Create the
this
file.
folder?
Okay, so yeah, so right click, go to add, and then new file.
New item.
New item, sorry. And then go to bit strange. Yours. Have you been able to run your project? Any?
No, I didn't.
You may have. Okay. So there's something strange here. Your solution doesn't look right. Save it and close it. Close the whole thing. Let's open Visual Studio again. Yeah. let's try to create a new project, just to see how it goes. Project, keep the name, just move forward here, okay? Okay, so uncheck down there. Okay, click confirm there. Okay, so your computer is working fine because you see the project is coming up correct here. So let's close this project. That's fine. So go file, close solution. Yep, and then let's open your solution there.
This one is mine.
Okay, so open that. Okay, so now it's looking a little bit better. Okay, so where were we before? What are you trying to do again?
Oh yeah, I was trying to add
Create the view imports, okay? View imports.
Yeah.
View folder is already there. So right click, add,
View?
new item. No.
Okay.
Click, add new item. Expand here, ASP core. Expand there. Just expand here. Click web. And then let's go to view imports.
Here?
Yep. View imports and then add.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have to declare the object into the controller, right? Because we send the object from controller.
Yeah, in the controller, in the action, yes. It's not a string. Student is not a string. Student is a student.
So just
We're creating did you define the class student? Yes, you define the class student.
Yeah.
So declare a student and create a student object. Okay, so I'm going to, if you are stuck there, I'm going to just do a quick walkthrough of step number 2, just in case if you have not been able to do that. Let me see if there are any questions here. I think that you guys are not using this too much today. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go here step by step. So student class, we have to define a student class with those properties. So very simply, here's the models. We have a student class, and we have the properties. Nothing too fancy about that. This is, you should know how to put together a class, okay? Now, we need to link this new class, this new model. When you hear the word model, think of class. When I say model, class, same thing. It's just a different terminology, but it's the same thing, okay? Now, how do I link the model to the view? Where should I go? So I should go to the view. And then at the very top, I just say at model. At model is the directive that allows you to link a view to a model, to a class. So I'm asking you to link the model, the view, to the class students. So that's what I do here. At model is the directive, and then I say, what is the model? Student model. I need to put the entire namespace because it needs to locate the students. Okay, so that's step number 2. 2.2. Now, 2.3, create a test student. So I'm going to go to the controller. And then I've created a test student. Remember how we saw last class that we can initialize classes, collections, objects just by using the curly braces? So I'm using that. I don't necessarily need to create my own constructor. I can just do something like this, okay? So I create a student, and I send the student to the view as a parameter of the view method, okay, it becomes the model of this view. I can send a student because I've attached the student model to the view that I'm sending to. So now, right here, I'm sending one student to the view. Then I will print out the first name of the student. So I can go to index, and I can say at model, capital M here, lowercase m up there. So when you are linking the model of the view, you use lowercase m. When you are calling the object model, you use capital M model. And then you just call the property, first name. If we run this, there we have. Okay, so that's step number 2. Any question about step number 2?
Can I see the home control?
Yes. Yep. I'm just using a different way to create a student. You can create a student and set the properties individually. It's really up to you. No problem using one way or another. I'm just using the one that I have shown during last class. Okay? Yes.
I'm trying to enter the student class.
Yep.
So it don't show me.
Does show it? Did you put the namespace up there? Because if you don't put the namespace student system.models, then you have to fully define models.student. Okay? That might be it. Okay? As usual, step number 2 here, I will be uploading the source of this one to Centennial. So you have it there. Okay, it's done there. Yes. The index? Yes. And again, keep in mind that you can download the codes. The code I just uploaded there just in case for your reference. Okay, so now I would like to move on to step number 3, where I'll be the one showing that. So we have used view imports in the past. View imports, the objective of view imports is just to add references. References to tag helpers, references to namespace, okay? So, to do that, I can just right-click on views, go to add, new item. Don't use view. I mean, you can use view, but you have to do some extra steps to get it right. Go to new item, then go to the web here, and then you have here a Razor view imports. It names already underscore view imports, which you should keep it because it has to be this specific name. Okay? If you rename it, it won't work. Okay? So I'll keep the name. I'm going to click on add, and then we have an empty file. That's it. That's okay. That's what we are expecting. What else? So next one here, add tag helpers, clue card number 8. Let's see what clue card number 8 is. Yes.
What is the name of the Razor view import or Razor view layout?
A Razor view imports.
Razor view import.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to open here the clue cards. Because here's the thing. I really don't keep on my head this whole tag helper line of codes. I have to copy and paste. So that's line number, that's, see, that's number 8. So what I have to do is I have to copy this line here. Hopefully that works. And I just have to add it here. It's missing the at the beginning. So at microsoft.aspnetcore.mvc.taghelpers. It's very easy to, if you type in, to misspell things here. So I recommend that you just have it this easily available. That's so with this, we're gonna be able to use tag helpers to do what? To do things like links, to do things like help you with this tag helper called ASP-action. Okay, so that's number 3. Sorry, 3.1. 3.3, add models namespace. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the view imports, and as I said, you can put references to tag helpers and to namespace as well. You can say something like this: at using, and I'm gonna put the namespace of models here. So student dot system dot, sorry, not dot here, student system dot models. With that, by doing this, what I can do now is I can go back to index and I can get rid of the full qualification of the student. I can just say at students, because now the view imports has the namespace declared already. So all views, they can all see what's inside of this namespace, including the students. So I can simplify our model binding in our view. Okay, so that's step number 3.4. Okay. Any questions? Yes. Is that the one? Or view imports?
Can we tag two models in one view?
No. Each view is only linked to one single model. However, if you have more than one model that you want to send to a view, you have the option to create a third class. I'll give an example. That's the example I'm using whenever someone asks for that. You can have, let's say you want a student and a faculty to send both of them to a view. Then what you can do is, okay, create a third class that you're going to call group class. Group will have one property that is a student, one property that is a faculty. You assign group.student to your students, group.faculty to your faculty, and now you send group to the view. So you work around that. There's a special name for that. What you're creating is you're creating a view model, which is a model that is only used because you need to transfer data to the view. It's not a student model or a faculty model. It's more of a view model, a model that is just used to transfer data to the view. Okay, we're going to see that particular topic, because that's a topic in its own, later in the course.
I'm having an error in the,
Okay.
in the third, in the second.
So what is the name of the object?
Student.
Look at. That's it.
Oh, okay. And how do we add the razor view? Is it in the view? How did we add the razor?
Open the view.
Open?
Open the view. Where's the view? What's the name of the view?
Home.
What is the view? The view file. That's the view. So what do you want to do?
The razor view. Do you add?
That's the view.
Okay.
So you just do that. Okay. What's up?
What's the issue?
Student. Okay. Do you have? Okay. You didn't save yet. Check it out there. Give it a second. Okay. Because otherwise, Visual Studio doesn't know that it's there already. Okay.
So I couldn't make it.
Capital M.
Oh.
Lowercase, very important. Lowercase m model at the top. Uppercase model whenever you want to use the object. Okay. So whenever you want to use the object, it's lowercase. But here, this is not the object. This is just a directive. Okay. What's up? Okay, can you show, okay, you didn't save it yet. Yeah, just wait a little bit, and sometimes Visual Studio takes a while.
That it's saving automatically.
It doesn't save automatically. Okay, show me again there, your review, import. W4, models. Go back again to the index. Try to close it, because sometimes Visual Studio doesn't behave that well. Close the whole thing, open it again. It might be that.
I didn't get the all the HTML tags.
Yeah, I'll send you the codes in a second. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to upload the code for step number 3 to eCentennial. If you need the code will be there in a second. Okay, so the code is there. Again, number 4, I'll mention number 4 in a minute here. So, is it okay now? Any questions about 3? Anything? I'll give you 1, 2, sold. Now we're gonna move on here. Okay, so code for 3 is done. Number 4 there, what is this about? So let me explain you a little bit about number 4. We're going to be creating a second view to list all students. This time around, it's not just one student. We are creating a list of 4 students. When I say hard-coded, what does that mean?
You don't have to use the actual properties.
Yeah, you type them. You type the code that says John Smith, Jane Doe, you hard code the data there. Because today we're not interested in dynamic data. We are interested in having some data that the view can display. So our focus today is in the view parts. So it doesn't matter how we get the data there, as long as we get some data, even if it's hard coded. Okay, so we're going to create a new view called list students. It's a view in an action. 2, we're going to send a collection of 4 students. So before you send 1 student to the index, this time around you're going to send a collection of students to the list of students, to the list students. 3, you're going to create, in the list students, you're going to create a HTML table. You're going to go through a loop. You have 4 students. You're going to loop through them and create a HTML table with all the properties. Student ID all the way to email, and output them, okay, as an HTML table. And last point here, from the index view, you're going to create a link to the list view, to this list of students. You're going to create a link by using the ASP-action help tag. that is using the tag helper that we have added before. We have added the tag helper here. So we're going to be using this ASP-action, which is part of the tag helper, okay? Tip, use the list responses from part invites as a reference point. Open that file in the part invites and use that as a reference, because there you're going to see how you can loop through, how you can output them, how you can put together an HTML table there. So use that as a reference from part invites, okay? Again, give a few minutes, walk around, and let's get this done. Be there in a second. What's up?
Yeah. Should I put everything the same information? Should I like I would like this, or what should I use it for?
The students are not, okay, so one thing is that you are creating a list, correct? A list of what?
Of a student.
Oh, look at that. Does seem to me like a list of students. A list of what are you creating? Look, just read the list. Just read it. You're creating a list of?
String?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're creating a list of students, not strings. So, give it a try. What's up? Okay, move the mouse over. Let's see there. What does it say? Yeah, so it's saying that doesn't exist.
But I already declared it in the home.
Well, that's fine, but did you go to, I don't see the view imports there.
Yeah, that's why. I don't know how to add the view import. Do we need to add the view, right? In the view?
Yep.
Add.
Sorry, it's not a view. It's not a normal view.
It's a
go to new item.
So we add two new item. Oh, okay.
Web.
It's the razor view?
No, view imports. Razor view imports. Yep. Perfect. Now, I recommend that you open the source code, because I just showed that. So open the source code of the last one, and then have a look at how it should look like. You have to import the tag helper, and you have to import the modules namespace. Just 2 lines. We're able to create the students.
Yeah, but I don't know.
You don't add student like this. You can add, you have to call new. You have to create an object. New students, and then you add to the list. You can say, yeah, but you have to, each item in the list is a new student. So you have to create a new student and add to the list. New student, add to the list. New student, add to the list. You can use that syntax, but you have to call new students. You have to say add, that's fine, but inside you have to call new students. New, click inside. Yeah. Well, inside the parentheses. New students. And then you can use the syntax, but the curly braces. And then you can say name equals to, first name equals to or something. Yeah. Yeah, look at, let me see here. Look at the presentation from last class, because there I show exactly how you can do this.
So everything is fine, but when I'm running it, then it shows 404 error.
Okay, so everything is not fine. Okay, so let's close that. Let's stop that. Stop the application.
Okay. The controller?
Stop the application.
Oh.
Okay, so it's not finding what it should be finding. Let's have a look at home controller. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, let's look at startup. You're missing one line here. Have a look. What's up?
So how this view, just this
How,
view list
this view?
student? Yeah.
How do we add the view?
Yeah.
How?
How can I do this step?
Yeah, how do we add the view?
Here.
Yeah, well, it's inside home, inside the home folder, because you have the views, they don't go directly in the view folder. They go inside one of the folders that is related to the controller. So you go to add, and you just follow the same steps as you did before. So new item, if it's not working the other one, go ahead.
The question showing an error in
Yeah. So where is the student class? Where is it? Yeah. So the student class is in this namespace. You have to declare this namespace in the other one, so it can see it. It's not called namespace, okay? So it's using da da da. Okay. Okay, so you're creating a list of students, correct? Yes. So you have to add a student to each item in the list. This is not how you create a student. Look at the presentation from last class. Yes. Yeah, you can use this. Yes, yes. That's it. That's it. You can use that as a reference.
How about this? That is
Well, this part here, yes, you can. Yeah. You can. It's just that this is creating a dictionary, and dictionary has a string, but this part here is pretty much the same. You can also create student 1, student 2, student 3, and then add each one to the list. But you have to create, you not only have to create the list, but you have to create each student inside the list. It's like you have one object that has a series of smaller objects inside of it. For each, yep. Student in module, okay. Let's see why it's not showing. Okay, for each. Move the mouse over. Oh, I see. See, this model here is linking to one student, but you actually need to link to a collection of students. Okay. So it's not to one student, but a collection of students. Have a look at part invites. Have a look at part invites. Have a look at part invites, list responses. See what is there, how it's there. Check that out. Again, here is one student, but it has to be, because you are sending a collection of students. So it has to receive a collection of students, not just one.